G'day guys, before we hop into today's vlog, I just want to remind you to hit that subscribe button. From now on, I'm going to be putting out Day-Leigh vlogs every single day. I'm going to be tracking my process, playing these 1-2-6 max games, hopefully moving up in stakes. But even if I don't, you'll get to watch me fall on my face every single day on this YouTube channel. So make sure you hit subscribe so you get the new videos as they come out every single day. For now, onto the vlog. Welcome back to the vlog, everyone. It is currently 5:15 a.m. here in Melbourne, which means I did not sleep in today. I got up at a very sensible hour and I'm super stoked about that. I didn't bother doing the hard reset like I said I might do in yesterday's vlog. I just actually put my alarm on my phone. I put it at the other side of the room, so when it went off in the morning I had to stand up and go turn it off, which means I was already out of bed, which means I'm not going to go back to sleep. Subconsciously press that snooze button, so that was my way around it. I'm on about 5 hours of sleep at the moment, so probably going to be pretty tired today, but absolutely stoked that I did get back to the regular waking up time. The plan for today is, well, first I'm going to get a feed in, but then I'm going to play 1,500 hands of online poker. Probably going to 5 tables today. I want to get used to 6 tables and sort of build my way up to it, but the past few sessions it just has been a bit of an overload and I'm definitely not able to play my A game. Let's see. Okay, so it is 6 a.m. right now. I just had a massive feed, feeling much better after getting some food in me. Like I said earlier, the plan for today is to play the 1,500 hands of A grade level poker. Definitely going to stick to my plan of only playing 5 tables today instead of 6. I really do want to put in some quality volume, and I do think I'm still struggling to focus and split my attention 6 different ways. So I'm just going to stick to the 5 for today. Probably going to play just 1 table of 2-5. While I am still tired and on a day where I didn't get much sleep last night, not looking to risk all my money on too many tables of 2-5. So just going to mix in the 1 today. Might go to 2 tables tomorrow. We'll see how we feel then. But for now, I'm going to hop straight in the poker. Let's go. Welcome back, everyone. It is currently 2:15 in the afternoon here in Melbourne and I'm done. I just wrapped up my second session for the day. Ended up playing a total of 5 hours and 15 minutes today for a grand total of 1,715 hands. So as you can tell, I did smash the 1,500 hand goal way out of the park today at such a short period of time as well. And as you might be able to figure out from that, I didn't even 5 table today. I did 6 table for the majority of today. I started off the session initially with playing 5 tables, and then probably after the first hour and a half, I was like, I'm managing this pretty well. Let's just add in a 6th table. Let's get this volume in. So I did end up playing 6 tables for the vast majority of the time I did play today. Hence why there's so many hands in such a short period of time. In terms of how it affected my game, well, in terms of results, didn't end up that good. I ended up losing 1,319. So obviously that's the biggest loss I've had since I started the Day-Leigh vlog, and obviously not feeling that great at the moment. In terms of my gameplay grade from today's sessions though, I'm going to give myself a C+. I do feel like in the morning session, I actually did play very well. I would have given myself an A for the first 4 hours, which is how long I played in the morning. I felt like I was clued in on what my opponents were doing. I was focused. I was in it. I was exploiting my opponents. I was making disciplined laydowns, good reads.
Towards the end of that session, however, I did sort of start to trail off a bit, and I sort of felt myself becoming undisciplined. So obviously that was when I chose to take my break, and then I ate the minced beef like you guys saw, and I came back to it about an hour and a half later. Then I grinded another 1.5 hours, and those hours were awful. Everything went to crap. I was completely undisciplined. I lost focus. I was distracted by everything that was going on because I was playing 6 tables all throughout that portion of the session, and it absolutely cost me because I made some big mistakes in high EV situations. You'll see in today's hand history, but that second session was awful. I'd probably give myself a D or a D plus for that session. So when we combine the two together, I'm going to have to arrive on a C plus, and I'm very disappointed on the second session of the day. I'm still not quite sure how I feel about playing 6 tables because I did play 4 hours straight of good poker with 6 tables running, but I don't think I can sustain it longer than that. I think it really does start to fatigue me, so I'm not quite sure if I should just go back to only playing 5 tables at a time, if I just need more practice with the 6 tables so I can sort of build up that tolerance and get used to playing so much at once. But I'm a bit lost right now, and obviously I was fatigued when I'm playing poker. My brain's a bit fried right now, but we're going to have to formulate a strategy to figure out how many tables we want to play every single day, whether that's 5 or whether that's 6. I'll take some time and think about it myself, but if you do have an opinion, please hop in the comments, let me know what you think. Let me know what a good amount of tables to play is in your opinion. But for today, I'm going to have to give myself a C plus on the sessions. The following hand history is from the 2-5 game I played in the second session of the day, and as you'll probably be able to tell from all the mistakes I make during the course of this hand, it was when I was most fatigued and most distracted. So hopefully the mistakes I do make in this hand serve as a lesson going forward, and even if that lesson is just don't play poker when you're this fatigued. So the action falls to me on the button, and I have my second favourite hand in all of poker, Pocket Kings. I go ahead and raise it up to 15. I just want to say about this opening size, obviously 3x is a larger sizing, particularly in an online poker format where people are like min-click opening or 2.5 opening. And my reason for using a 3x opening is because I'm on the button, and with basically all of my opening range on the button, I don't really mind inflating the pot just because I am going to have position throughout the entire hand. But if you did want to open to a smaller size, I think that would be a fine play too. I choose to open to 15 here though, and then I get a call from an unknown big blind. The flop comes out ace-6-3 with 2 spades. We do have the king ace spades ourselves, which is important. Then the big blind goes ahead and checks it over to us, and I think here we have a pretty interesting decision whether to c-bet or not. I think as an overall strategy, if you, as a pre-flop raiser, you decided to always bet ace-high boards with a smaller sizing, I think that's a fine strategy. Obviously, you are going to be able to represent a lot of strong hands when you are the one that pre-flop raise. You're going to have all the ace-kings, ace-queens, ace-jacks, etc. when the person who called out a position is less likely to. So I think that's a fine strategy, and obviously if you're going to bet all your range, you're definitely going to want to bet pocket kings as well. But I do think if you wanted to play another strategy and mix in some checks, I think the pocket kings is a slam dunk hand you want to have in your checking range here. Obviously you've got to be somewhat concerned that the big blind did defend with an ace-x hand. Obviously they have a bunch in their range, and blocking the king of spades actually makes me want to check even more, just because it is so unlikely that our opponent is going to have a flush draw hand when we do block so many of them. So I actually think it depends what strategy you want to use on this board, but I think if like gun to my head I have to choose a better option between the two, I think checking is more practical in this spot. I go ahead and c-bet. I do use the bet range on an ace-high board strategy, so I go ahead and make it 10. And then my opponent check raises to 35. So the action's back on me here, and I really do think when my opponent check raises here and we do block the nut flush draw, I actually think we should just be folding our pocket kings here. Like I said, my opponent is defending a bunch of ace-x hands in the big blind. They definitely include ace-3 suited, ace-6 suited, pocket sixes, pocket threes, but could even potentially include hands like ace-3 offsuit, which is obviously vastly going to increase the amount of value combos my opponent does have here. So I really think we should just be folding on this street. I was distracted though, and I think I make a bit of a mistake here. I do throw in the call. I will say if you are going to call with any combination of pocket kings, one with the spade is probably the best one to have, but even so, like, if you're going to bet this flop with pocket kings, just fold to the check raise. Like, you're behind so often. I make the mistake though. I throw in the call, and then we are heads up to a turn. And the turn is the 9 of spades, which is actually a good turn card for us because we do turn the nut flush draw now. The action's back on the big blind, and they go ahead and bet 30, which is actually a very small bet considering the size of the pot. So when the action's on me, I actually think calling is totally fine here. You are getting direct odds to draw to a flush draw, and not to mention you're in position anyway, so you should be calling even more than that. Having said that, I do think I should put a lot of thought into potentially bluff raising on this card. Like I said, my opponent does have a bunch of 2 pairs and sets in their range, and we have the king of spades, so we know they don't have the nut flush. So we can actually raise to try and represent the nut flush ourselves, and it'll actually be a very credible line. Obviously, we can have king jack of spades, king 10 of spades. I mean, we open the button, we could have king 2 of spades that would take this line, so we can represent a lot of value by raising here. And I do think if I had a flush, I probably would raise here just to charge those 2 pair and sets. So despite us getting a really good price to draw, I actually think bluff raising here is the better option. I make a mistake though, and I just call. I don't think that's a huge mistake or anything. I just think I missed a really, really good opportunity to bluff raise. My bad. So we are still heads up to a river, which is the jack of hearts. So obviously we don't get there with our nut flush draw, unfortunately. And then the big blind goes ahead and bets 140. So the action's on me now, and I just want to say straight off the top, I do not like calling here. I think that is by far the worst option of the 3. So then I have to decide between folding or going all in as a bluff. And the reasons I would potentially consider going all in as a bluff here are similar to the reasons I would consider bluff raising on the turn. Obviously, we do block the nuts with having the king of spades as well, and we can represent some flushes that did trap on the turn when my opponent did bet so small. Having said that though, I actually much prefer folding in this spot, and I think folding is the correct play, and I'm going to tell you why. I think at the 2-5 level, where players are much more competitive, I actually think it's very, very possible that my opponent intentionally bets small on the turn to try and induce a call from my hands that had a strong spade. So like obviously pocket kings with a spade, ace queen with the queen of spades, ace king with the king of spades, etc. I think it's somewhat possible he bets small on the turn to try and induce a call from those hands, just so those hands will feel forced to bluff raise on the river. And maybe I'm going insane here and I'm just leveling myself to death, but I think at the 2-5 level where people are more competitive, I legitimately think that could have been a trap that my opponent has set. And so if that's the case, obviously they're never going to fold their 2 pair or set hands, and they're definitely not going to fold a flush anyway. Like, I should just be folding. I shouldn't even try to play fate and try to win this leveling war. I should just be folding. I think I fall straight into my opponent's trap because I do rip it all in as a bluff here. I do think there is some merit to this play, but I just think folding is a much, much better option. I stuff up though. I go ahead and rip it all in, and then my opponent calls with pocket 3s. So look, I don't want to be results oriented and say that this evil trap that my opponent concocted was actually a thing. It's somewhat possible they just bet small on the turn for some other reason I don't understand. I am really disappointed with how I played that hand, and obviously I do have the ability to figure out when my opponents are laying traps like that, but it's just when I'm so distracted by so many games going on and I'm fatigued towards the end of my second session, I really just can't dial in and make those good reads.
G'day everyone, it's currently 8:15 in the evening and I'm editing today's vlog, and I just got up to today's hand history, and in it I'm very critical of how I played the pocket kings as a bluff, and in retrospect I don't actually think that it's that much of a mistake, particularly when I do have the nut flush blocker, and obviously I'm going to have traps flushes on the turn that I'm going to want to take this line with, so I think this bluff's actually pretty reasonable, to be honest, and I take back the criticisms I gave it earlier in the hand. The one thing I am still very critical of is my decision to call the check raise on the flop with pocket kings. That's still awful. Other than that though, I'm pretty fine with how I played this hand. Let's get back to the vlog.
More so than usual, I actually really want to hear what you guys think about this hand in particular. So hop down in the comments below, let me know what you think. Have I just gone insane with paranoia because I've been playing so much poker? Is everyone out to get me? Are they setting these elaborate traps? Or is going for the bluff raise fine on the river there? Hop down in the comments. Please let me know I'm not insane. Would you just fold on the river, or would you go for the bluff raise? Hop in the comments below. Please let me know. Always love hearing from you guys, but I think on this one, I don't know, I might be going insane, so let me know. That's going to wrap up another vlog for today. Thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button. It helps this channel grow so much. If you already have hit subscribe, thank you. You're the best. For now, I'm out of here. Peace.